Hey, what's up guys? One more quick video tonight. Some major news dropped today, actually just a couple hours ago at that. Even some more news dropped. So we're gonna have an awesome jailbreak update coming tomorrow, but today for this quick video, I wanted to get out the most important information, and that is I suggest everyone to downgrade to iOS 12.1.1 while the signing window is still open. Now this is just for users specifically on iOS 12.1.3 if they've updated. Now this can be either to iOS 12.1.2 or in my opinion, I'd highly suggest to downgrade to iOS 12.1.1 while the signing window is still open. Now of course, before we get too far in this video, like, subscribe, and all that stuff, and all of the download links required will be in the link in this video's description. Alright, so jumping right into things, here we are on my desktop. I currently have my iPhone 10 connected to my MacBook right here just via my dock. So jumping straight into things, we're going to go to this site again down below in the video's description or in your cards now. Going to select your iPhone model. I have the iPhone 10 GSM, and then you're going to select iOS 12.1.1, and you're just going to go ahead and download this guy and let it download in the background. Again, this would be a good time now to connect your iPhone, trust the connection, make sure it shows up in iTunes and all that good stuff. And I'm sure it's kind of hard to see. I might be able to zoom it in on the video, but I'm currently on iOS 12.1.3, the latest version of iOS as of today. But again, we're going to want to downgrade from that because some major news dropped, some new updates, some new exploits might be coming in the near future for iOS 12.1.1 and below. Also, just to clarify, definitely don't update to 12.1.1 if you're on a lower version of iOS 12. Just stay where you're at until we know more information. But for those users who updated and want to downgrade back down to 12.1.1 while the signing window is still open and want to keep their data, here's exactly how to do so. Alright, well with the iPhone software downloaded and on my desktop right here, once it's done, then we can go ahead and go into iTunes to actually perform the restore. Now we're going to hover right over check for updates. Now if you're on a Windows-based PC, you're going to hold down Shift. If you're on a Mac, you're going to hold down Option. So while holding the Option key, we're going to click check for update. It's going to pull up this dialog box where now we can manually select our iPhone restore file and then select open. Again, this is iOS 12.1.1. And then we're just going to go ahead and click update. Again, we option or shift click the check for update button. This is actually going to perform an update to iOS 12.1.1. Now it's technically going to downgrade us, but technically with this update option right here, we won't lose any personal data or any installed applications in the process. Now, once it goes through its process a little bit, it looks like we have to enter our iPhone's password to continue, and then we can click continue. This is kind of an interesting way of doing things. Also, before you begin this process, you might want to check and ensure that Find My iPhone is turned off. I believe I skipped that step because I think I have Find My iPhone off on this phone. Anyway, to do that, you can just enter the Settings app, head into your iCloud username, scroll down to Find My iPhone, and then deselect the toggle, enter your iTunes password or iCloud password to turn Find My iPhone off, and then you'll be able to perform a manual restore just like this. So now the phone's restoring. Again, like I said, the reason why I'm doing this now is because iOS 12.1.1 is still being signed by Apple. It's absolutely incredible that it came out on December 5th and it's still being signed here on January 22nd. So that's close to 2 months of this iOS version being signed, and iOS 12.1.2 has already come out. I can't believe 12.1.1 is still being signed, guys. So that's why I'm saying definitely downgrade as soon as possible. And I'll explain why in more detail in tomorrow's video. Again, a bunch of jailbreak updates came out today, and I'm really excited to share with you guys what has come out, what my opinion is on everything. I really just want to take my time and make that video. But the most important thing is to get on a firmware that you guys can actually jailbreak on. And right now, that's looking like it's going to be iOS 12.1.2 and below, although do not quote me on that. I'm just suggesting everyone that's on iOS 12.1.3 definitely do not remain there. Definitely get to iOS 12.1.2, or if you're lucky enough to catch the iOS 12.1.1 signing window, definitely get to that. It's always a good idea just to remain on the lowest possible version of iOS 12 that you possibly can. And so if you're on a lower version than iOS 12.1.1, like we're doing in today's video, don't update, just stay exactly where you're at. Anyway, guys, I will let this restore finish up. I'll stop talking, and then we'll get into the final steps to complete this restore. Anyway, guys, be right back. All right, well, things are looking pretty good so far. It's already verified the update. As you guys can see, this only takes a matter of minutes. I think the longest thing that's going to take to download is the actual IPSW file from the internet, depending on your internet connection. It only took me a couple of minutes, but it is about a 3 to 4 gigabyte file, depending on which iOS version you're downloading, and that can take some time if you have a slower internet connection. But the actual restore process goes pretty quickly, and the good thing is, once this process is done, we won't have to reset up the phone at all. Everything should remain exactly how you left it. You'll just be on iOS 12.1.1 instead of iOS 12.1.2, or in this case, iOS 12.1.3. All right, there we are, guys. Your iPhone has been updated and is restarting. Please leave your iPhone connected. It will appear in iTunes after it restarts. And so it looks like the iPhone is restarting and finalizing this restore, downgrading back to iOS 12.1.1. Well, spoiler alert, once you guys receive that notification, once it disconnects from iTunes and actually restarts, we can now actually go ahead and disconnect our iPhone from our charging cable right there. But again, if you guys are new to this process, I would just leave it in until you guys are back on the home screen. But in any case, it's just verifying the restore on device right now. And so in just a few seconds, once this progress bar finishes up, we'll be back on the home screen of iOS 12.1.1. So that is pretty much the restore process, guys. Just a few more steps at the very end, but as you guys will see, this is pretty much the majority of this video, just initiating the restore within iTunes. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this quick video today. Get to iOS 12.1.1 if you're on iOS 12.1.3 or even 12.1.2. Honestly, it's up to you guys if you want to update from iOS 11 or iOS 12.0.1, but again, I would just stay exactly where you're at. Let's see what comes of what has been released and give it a couple days, maybe even a week. And again, like I said, I will be going into the information that was released today, first thing tomorrow morning in that video. I just want to get this video out tonight so everyone has a chance to downgrade to iOS 12.1.1 while it's still being signed by Apple. Because who knows, guys, it could be as early as tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. When Apple releases a new beta, they could stop signing iOS 12.1.1. A new beta may be coming, that's not confirmed. But in any case, iOS 12.1.1 is on its way out. I'm surprised it's still being signed, so definitely get to that firmware as soon as possible. All right, well, there we are, guys. My phone has been updated. You can just enter your passcode right here. I guess I entered it incorrectly. And that is it. Absolutely no update screens or anything like that. If I just go to General, About, as you guys can see, I'm now back. Let me turn the brightness down. That is a bit bright. I'm back on iOS 12.1.1, and my entire phone setup, all my applications, nothing has been removed, nothing's really been touched. I'm just on an older version of iOS with all my data intact. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you appreciated this video on how to downgrade from iOS 12.1.3 to an earlier version of iOS 12. Hopefully, you guys can join me on iOS 12.1.1, and hopefully in the near future, we'll have some major breakthroughs for the iOS 12 jailbreak scene. Again, if you guys want to stay updated with weekly and daily updates, definitely subscribe, ding that notification bell, and give this video a huge thumbs up. Anyway, thank you again so much for watching, but until next time, this is Tony, signing out. Alright, well, for those who made it this far in the video, you get a sneak peek of what's coming in tomorrow's video, what we're going to discuss in more detail. Well, when I made my video today about iOS 12.1.3, Apple had yet to release the release notes for 12.1.3 to really see what was patched in it. As you guys remember, there was absolutely no new features, outward-facing changes, or anything like that in this software, so everything that was going on was under the hood and bug fixes, performance enhancements, and security patches. And boy, was there a lot. 6 kernel-level patches on iOS 12.1.3. And this is where things get interesting. These kernel exploits were attributed to Brandon Azad. We have Sorry My Bad right there. We also have Ian Beer. 3 main security researchers working on iOS 12 exploits that have been known to release their research in the past, especially Ian Beer. I'm really excited to see what he has up his sleeve, if he's going to be releasing anything in the near future. Well, as you guys remember, Sorry My Bad, as well as Brandon Azad, had also promised that they would be releasing their research in the near future. We heard a few updates from them. So guys, a lot of stuff was patched in iOS 12.1.3. You definitely do not want to be there. It's funny that this release by Apple was kind of a good and a bad thing. It sucks that all this was patched for the latest versions of iOS, but at the same time, all these security researchers can now actually release their information to the public if they want to. And so that's what I'm really excited for. We might be getting a big break in the very near future from some major key contributors towards an iOS 12 jailbreak. And it's really uncertain at the time which version of iOS 12 you should stay on, but as a general rule of thumb, you should definitely stay on the lowest possible version of iOS 12 that you can. And as of recording this video, that is iOS 12.1.1. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching and being awesome fans. Anyway, guys, have a good night. I'll see you tomorrow morning. This is Tony, signing out.